أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد والثناء لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum, all dear brothers and sisters in Islam and all dear listeners. The leadership of the Islamic Ummah, which was once in the hands of the Prophet of Islam, gradually deviated from its direct path and was abused a lot, and finally became a means for a small group to gain their personal pleasures and desires. Muawiyah, the son of Abu Sufyan, who was the leader of the enemies of Islam, was in Yemen at the year of the conquest of Mecca. And when he heard that his father Abu Sufyan had converted to Islam, he wrote a letter to him and rebuked him with poetry and prose. On his return to Mecca, because he couldn't find refuge there, he had to go to Medina, where he went directly to Abbas, the Prophet's uncle, and begged to profess Islam. Abbas interceded for him with the Prophet, and his intercession was accepted. But his Islam happened when there were not many months until the death of the Prophet, so he couldn't serve in the presence of the Prophet of Islam. Muawiyah was the ruler of Syria who came to the caliphate after martyrdom of Imam Hassan and spent a lot of money to fabricate hadith condemning Imam Ali and in the virtue of Usman. He was the first to open the door to cursing the companions and ordered the speakers to curse Ali alayhi salam, peace be upon him, on the pulpits, and massacred the Shiite of Ali. There were many killings and violence of the law in Muawiyah's government, but no one dared to protest. Why? Because the answer to protest was a sword, as Hujr and his companions beheaded. A German scholar had told Sheikh Muhammad Abdu that Muawiyah shot the way for the spread of Islam through the civil war between Muslims. And the sword that was to be used in Islam to destroy infidelity was used to fight other Muslims. If it weren't for the Emir of Syria, Islam would have spread all over the world without bloodshed, and no one would have gone astray. And the banner of universal justice would have been raised. If it weren't for the Emir of Syria, Ali wouldn't have been killed, Hassan wouldn't have been killed, Hussein wouldn't have been killed, and the sanctity of the Prophet's family wouldn't have been destroyed to this extent. One of Muawiyah's most important actions was to promote the idea of determinism. By promoting this thought, he tried to instill the spirit of submission to oppression among Muslims. Therefore, strengthening the foundation of his government and making it eternal. After Muawiyah, it was the turn of his son Yazid, and he succeeded his father. Yazid, who was a drunkard, was openly guilty at the time he was in charge of Muslim Caliphate. Yazid was a traitor and hypocrite who had no shame. He was very interested in keeping and playing with animals, especially dogs and monkeys. Many measures were taken to bring him to power, like buying poets' pens to write poems describing Yazid, then gaining the opinion of country's tribal leaders and nobles with precious gifts, and then instructing the governors to send some from each province to come to Syria to demand that Yazid become the crown prince. At the same time, they assassinated other figures of the country and martyred Imam Hassan with poison. Also, they poisoned Sa'd Abi Waqqas, who was the conqueror of Iraq. They poisoned the son of Abu Bakr and also eliminated other figures of the country. Then they made Yazid's allegiance public and took allegiance from the people. But the people of Medina didn't accept this allegiance. So Muawiyah himself decided to go to Medina with a large army and a lot of money to force the people do so by bribery or threats. But Imam Hussein didn't accept the allegiance. During the time of his caliphate, many betrayals and crimes took place that were unprecedented in the history of Islam. He did not even have mercy on the house of God and set fire to its curtains and destroyed the Kaaba. In Medina, he allowed 3 days to encroach on the lives, property, and honor of people. His army killed more than 12,000 men and raped more than 3,000 girls and set up the Prophet's mosque as the cattle's stable. Such actions were not contrary to expectation, because when the divine caliphate deviates from the path of truth and power reaches the hands of the incompetent, such ominous result and effects will be fully expected. Thank you very much, all dear brothers and sisters and all dear listeners, for your attention. And wasallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa alihi tahirin. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.